Rogers does as well.
1, 2, 3. Henry, stop counting.
Trons, welcome back to the channel and on to the Tron train. So today's destination is Recap Station, as I will recap round 10 of Super Rugby Pacific. So grab your tickets, sit back and relax, as this will be an awesome ride. So this round had a mixture of close games, while some teams were sublime at home. So we've got a lot to discuss. Stay tuned, as the first game is coming soon. Blues versus Crusaders. First up, Trons, and oh man, was this game a instant classic from the kickoff, as both teams really took it to each other. And yeah, it was so good to see both teams use the driving maul to their advantage, as yeah, that it was just phenomenal to see. And the forward packs just really took it in the set piece. Particularly at line-out time. Both line-out jumpers were just on each other all night, as yeah, it was just exceptional to see the line-out so commonly contested. I had never ever seen that many line-outs contested. In fact, there were only a couple times in this match that both teams only sent one guy up. It was really phenomenal, and the defense from both sides was what really caught my eye though, as I mean, it was just bone crunching tackle after bone crunching tackle. Honestly, it was like previous matches. Both teams were just on each other all night. Particularly, yeah, the defense was just absolutely divine. And yeah, I cannot describe it anymore. Anyway, but when gaps did open up, the teams just went for it, as sublime backs coordination, along with some superb forward work really got the Crusaders over the line first up. And although it was a valiant defensive effort from the Blues, it was just not to be. Although they did capitalise on the opportunities the Auckland side had, and just went absolutely anal in their chances. And yeah, this was a real tit-for-tat game, guys. At halftime, I was just like, who is gonna win? I'm really out of breath describing it, Trons. It was just that good. The only thing that really disappointed me was the weather conditions. Both teams weren't allowed to play their style of rugby because of it, and it was really slippery underfoot, causing some areas of the teams to make errors in the most simplest of ways. But anywho, really pleased with the game, and I just cannot wait to see these guys take on each other in the playoffs, as this is my game of the week, Trons. It was really, really awesome. Anywho, MVP, I'd had to go with Samaji Williams, Cody Taylor, and Frictional. They really took it to the Blues front row, and although Josh wasn't to a master, Angus Tarbell and Ricky Riccatelli had a good effort trying to stop them. They just could not be stopped. So, 3 MVPs, I know it's a rarity for me, but the Crusaders front row was just so good, particularly at scrum time. Anyway, next game, Fiji and Drua against the Waratahs. Fiji and Drua versus Waratahs. Game now, Trons, and oh my god. One word to describe this one: domination by the Drua. It was just an absolute bloodbath by the Fijian-based team. The backs really impressed me first up, as their interplay and communication was just absolutely phenomenal, and the forwards were also good as well, with their set piece being absolutely sublime, and they were just really clinical in those two areas. The locks were just menaces in the lineup, really causing havoc for the Waratahs first up as well, and just and I mean, it was just absolutely exceptional with the out of this world plays they would come up with. And they were just so clinical in coming up with those plays. And I was basically going during the match, I was like, what are the Drua doing, honestly? I was so blown away. And once it got out to the wider channels, the Drua really capitalised on their opportunities on the left and right wings. It was like, now you see me, now you don't. It was just really, really phenomenal to watch and awesome to spectate as a viewer of the match. I was so blown away with every single play in the first half. The Waratahs were just clueless. They honestly made so many costly errors as well. And yeah, but as soon as the second half rolled around, it was all the Waratahs did come back, but it was in the final minutes of the first half. The second half is where the Waratahs really got going for me. The opportunities got really clear, and they just really capitalised on them. And yeah, it was just so good to see the Waratahs step up a gear. And particularly, the backs were just on it as well as the forwards. They tried to charge on, but a great effort by the defense of the Drua stopped them. But when they finally did see the gap, they just took it with such precision, and that's what really impressed me during their second half attempted comeback. But it wasn't to be, as cometh the hour, cometh the man. Stelestino Ravutamanda just went 8-hole in the second half as soon as he came on, being really devastating for the Waratahs defense, and he just could not be stopped. It was just so really phenomenal. The only thing that really disappointed me was the heat. I felt sorry for the Waratahs during the whole match, as they just couldn't acclimatise to it. And the Fijian Drua really showed that they could really acclimatise. But anyway, some of the Waratahs boys had to go off because of heat exhaustion and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just not the Tars night. And I've got to say, the penalty try definitely was my favourite moment, as the Drua just went crazy when that was scored. And that's another thing, the Tars just were not disciplined enough as penalties started to creep in, and they were just not on their game in that area of their game, conceding too many of the penalties, in my opinion. But anywho, next game, Moana Pacifica versus the Brumbies. Moana Pacifica versus Brumbies, now Trons, and oh my god, this was a ding-dong matter. The forward backs really impressed me, as each time they would go for a scrum, they would just crush each other, and they really laid the solid base for the backs to do something. But each time Moana made momentum, particularly on attack, they almost made me fall off the edge of my chair cushion, as line break after line break they looked so threatening, Trons. They really did. And it was just phenomenal to see. But yeah, their ability to make something out of nothing also really impressed me as well. So they were also quite devastating in the line-out, as Tom Savage and Michael Curry were just menaces and really caused the Brumbies forwards some problems in that area, and just were so good. But they would also make push after push, but every opportunity they were presented with, they just could not capitalise on it. I was just blown away by some of the plays. Equally, the Brumbies' defensive effort was also impressive for me, as they just pinpointed their targets and were just really critical in shutting Moana down. When they got their opportunity, though, the Brumbies really took it, as they just made some despicable plays, and it was like one player was there, and then the next minute they were gone. I was like, oh my god, where did that come from? But again, they just couldn't capitalise on the opportunities really early until half time, that is. some superb interplay by the backs led to my favourite try by Corey Toll. And then from there, Moana just pushed, but it wasn't enough as the Brumbies just kept on going and going. It was just so good to see. Dot down after dot down. I was like, what the hell happened to Moana at half time? Honestly, I don't know what the Brumbies coaching staff told them, but it was just superb play after superb play for the Brumbies. It was just so good. And yeah, the only thing I wasn't impressed with, and again, this is quite common in this recap, the conditions did not meet my expectations. Again, the ball was sloppy and the players they tried to create were just stopped by some petty errors, and that was clearly down to the conditions. But anyway, some superb rugby by the Brumbies, and I was just, by the end of the match, I was like, yes, but I had a little soft spot for Moana, because, yeah, man, it just wasn't their day. They pushed. They really tried in certain areas of the game. MVP Tom Savage. He was just a menace, and his leadership was just solid. Really geeing the boys up and helping Sione Harvey territory. And he was just making record-breaking carry after record-breaking carry. He was absolutely phenomenal. Anywho, next game, Chiefs versus Highlanders. Chiefs versus Highlanders. Now, Trons, and one word to describe this one, clinic. I was really impressed by the Chiefs' set-piece work, particularly at line-out time, as the Chiefs' second rowers really put some havoc into the Highlanders' heads as they absolutely dominated in that area. And the Chiefs were just exceptional in their pick and go scenario, as every time a little get popped up, boom, they would take it. And that just blew me away. The backs were really clinical, as well as Leroy Carter and Amoni Narua were absolutely devastating out in the wider channels, as each time they had the ball, both of them would just be one place at one time and then another place at the other. They were just magicians on the field. There we go. And yeah, it was just really, really solid to see. And that was also helped by some phenomenal scrimmaging by the Chiefs pack, as they absolutely dominated in that area as well, in my opinion. As each push from the Chiefs felt like they were pushing a rock at the Highlanders. They were just winning every single time. And yeah, it was just so good. And yeah, it was also really good to see that the Chiefs were just dominating in the little breakdown plays that they had, as that was executed to perfection, in my opinion. And also, they were just so clinical, winning penalty after penalty, in my opinion. And yeah, it was just so cool to see. And yeah, the defense was just absolutely nuts, as every time the Highlanders would make a break, the Chiefs would just like hawks and shut them down with such precision. And yeah, it was just so clinical to see. But the highlight for me was when the Chiefs brought their bench on. They were just absolutely killing it, Trons! And yeah, it was just so good to see the bench utilised. My favourite couple of moments during the match were the setup of Kalen Bosch's 2 tries. Both of them were absolutely sublime, and it was really good to see the Chiefs really be menaces in the lead up to those two. And yeah, what disappointed me though was the Highlanders had their opportunities but just could not capitalize. I mean, they had little sprouts, but it was just no good, as the Chiefs were just too. They were almost like Falcons on the Highlanders. And the fact that they had early injury setbacks as well, that was not a good thing either. My MVP for this one is going to be Moana. He was devastating out on that right wing, and just went crazy. So yeah, next game and the final game, the Force versus the Hurricanes. Force versus Hurricanes now. Trons and I've got no words to describe this one. It was just incredible. Both teams did not give up as they went back and forth for the whole 80. And yeah, the Hurricanes forward back were just brilliant in this one, and they were just really critical in their plays. The backs, sure, they did some flashy plays here and there, but yeah, I give this one to the forwards because they were just absolute menaces. And it was really good to see the effort of the defense, and particularly by the Hurricanes, as they really shut the Force down at crucial times and just were so exceptional in their defensive efforts. On attack, the line breaks were just absolutely stunning, and the forwards really provided the backs to do their flashes. Then their carries were just absolutely phenomenal, and yeah, although the Force did not back down as they had some sublime plays lined up, and boy, were Bailey Kunzel and Harry Potter really devastating Alan those in edges. I mean, I've never seen such sublime efficiency in the Force two wingers. They were just all over the Hurricanes all game, and yeah, and the centres were just brilliant as well. But when the games did break through, oh my god, did they provide some out of my chair moments. Like, there was one try that I think Callum Hagen scored that really impressed me. The lead up to it was just brilliant as the Canes were just super clinical, and they were just so devastating in the breakdown, which led to the Hagen try, and some superb passes were made as well. So, yeah, and they also had Fihi Fainganofu, who was devastated out on that left edge. He was absolutely nuts. And yeah, almost gave me chills every time I saw him having the ball and just bringing the energy and quickness as well as his speed. And yeah, the fourth were also critical in the lineup as they just dominated in that area for me, but their scrum was just a bit off. That's where the Hurricanes really did it. They really pushed the force back at crucial moments during the match. And yeah, Carlo Tizzano was also really good as he provided some unique moments, and yeah, he just went crazy up against Duplessis Carisi. Speaking of Duplessis Carisi, he was absolutely a defensive juggernaut, making tackle after tackle. And yeah, although something really disappointed me, and that's the fact that both teams had their chances. They really did. But some impossible judgment or some stupid timing really cost them. And yeah, MVP Duplessis Carisi. He was just absolutely nuts, carrying the Hurricanes on his back, and his leadership was really awesome as well. So yeah, guys, another thing to mention about Duplessis, he was just really awesome in his attacking power. I was just mesmerized by the man's work, and he just really blew me away. And yeah, overall, I'm happy with how this round played out. And yeah, so guys, that'll do it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more rugby content, and share with your friends as it really helps me out. And yeah, please take your belongings as we have arrived at the station, and please watch your step as you're exiting the platform. So yeah, guys, I'm out. Ciao! Ciao!